Hello? Mhm. Hello? Okay. Namaste, everyone, and welcome to the sixth night of Navaratri. Namaste, everyone, and welcome to the sixth night of Navaratri and the Ramāyana Reading here at the Sankamochen Hanuman Temple. This episode is titled Challenge to Ravan and the Sundarkand, and Param will start us off.
The kingdom of Lanka across the ocean. Hanuman crouched low on the slopes, stretching out his tail and fixing his eyes on the horizon. He remembered his father, the wind god, and prayed for his protection. Then he vowed, either I shall find Sita or destroy Lanka, and leaped into the sky. As he launched himself, the mountain shook, sending forth showers of fragrant flowers. Thousands of trees were uprooted and swept into the sky, falling like a carpet of stars into the sea. He flew through the air with his tail out behind him, shining like the sun as he passed in and out of clouds. His eyes blazed and the wind thundered past his ears while far below, the sea tossed in his wake, churning up waves as high as mountains. The sea demoness Simika, who had not eaten for years, saw Hanuman flying above the sea. She used her magic powers to seize his shadow, himself be held back by some unseen influence, and looked down. Seeing Simika in the down towards her, and she tried to swallow him, but he again shrank to nothing and flew into her mouth. Penetrating deep inside her, he burst out through her heart and killed her instantly. As he neared the island of Lanka, Hanuman saw a forest and mountains below him, and in the distance Mount Trikuta, beside which stood the fabulous city of Lanka, looking like the capital of heaven. He returned to his normal size and touched down safely on the peak of Mount Chakuta. Not even short of breath, he set off through the lush jungle towards the city. Soon he arrived at the edge of the outer moat beneath towering walls and turrets of gold, with pennants in the breeze. He made his way to the northern gate where he saw large numbers of guards and much coming and going. He lay hidden among the trees until darkness fell. When all was dark, he shrank to the size of a cat and sprang over the battlements. By the light of the full moon, he followed the main highway into the city. Around him were mansions of gold inlaid with diamonds and pearls. Deep rumblings like the distant roar of the ocean came from the depths of the city, and there bells tinkled. Suddenly, he was challenged by a hideous female figure. Who are you and what do you want? She demanded. First, tell me who you are, Hanuman replied. My name is Lanka, the guardian spirit of this city, and I am aware of all that goes on here. No one can wander about the city without my sanction. It is my wish to see around Lanka, and I shall do as I please, retorted Hanuman. Not without overcoming me. She cried and struck Hanuman on the face. In retaliation, he felled her to the ground with a slap. Spare me, she begged. I was once told by Brahma that when a monkey enters Lanka and overpowers me, the defeat of all Rakshasas who live here will soon follow. I give you permission to please and assure that you will accomplish your purpose, and in so doing, bring about the destruction of Ravana. Hanuman continued on his way. Soon he heard laughter and music and saw on the streets people of all kinds. Some were ugly, others beautiful, some coarse, others refined. He saw scholars and priests, powerful warriors, and drunken fools, naked Aztecs with shaped spells, and eyed him curiously as he passed. While monstrous demons were with deformed features and misshapen bodies guarded doorways along the way, armed with swords, clubs, and spears. After passing many mansions and crossing wide avenues, gates of Ravana, made of solid gold and embellished with precious gems, the city within filled with mansions teeming in proud tones, singing boisterously or lying in drunken stupor. He also saw noble beings, handsome and graceful, dressed in finery and shining brightly. Finally, he reached Ra's residence, blazing with jewels. It was a palace of such splendor it seemed as if heaven had come down to earth. Eh, He stole into Ravana's private apartments, where he saw bevies of gorgeous women deep in slumber, exhausted from their revelries, their limbs and coverings in disarray, with their heads pillowed on one another's arms, their garments scattered, and their breath perfumed by fragrant wines. They looked like swans floating on a sea of lotus flowers. Lamps burned dimly, held by sentinels of gold who watched silently over the fair assembly. In the midst of the scene was a raised bedstead of ivory and gold, beneath a white canopy, where Ravana slept. Fanned by female attendants, arms encircled with gold bracelets and flashing with diamonds, revealed the scars of many battles. Around his bed slept female musicians, still holding their musical instruments in sensuous embrace. On a richly upholstered bed nearby lay a fair complexioned woman, more gorgeous than the others. At first, Hanuman thought her to be Sita, but then he realized this could not be. Sita would never to be enjoyed by Ravana. Woman must be Ravana's queen, Mandodari, who had been given to him as a young girl by her father, the demon Maya. Since then, Ravana had carried off thousands of other young girls from the homes of gods and celestial beings, all of whom were allured by his power and sexual energy. Sita, however, would never submit to his will. Leaving the palaces, Hanuman scoured the open spaces surrounding them. Just then, he came across a grove of ancient Ashok trees that he had not noticed before. Hidden beneath a wooded hilltop beside Ravana's palace, this was Ravana's private retreat, and something told Hanuman it might be the place where Sita. He prayed to Vishnu to give him success and leaped over the boundary wall. Inside, the trees were thick with flowers and entwined with climbers. As the monkey jumped from one tree to another, they scattered their blossoms, covering him with petals so that he looked like a spirit of spring. Advancing deeper into the grove, he found that the trees took on a silver hue, and their flowers perfumed. Water tumbled down the hillside into a clear crystal pool with white sandy bed, sparkling with gems and corals. Around the pool, marble steps descended from among trees of gold that chimed as if with tiny bells in the breeze. Hanuman climbed the tallest tree and peered out from its branches across the moonlit landscape, greater and more venerable than all the others. Beneath it, he saw a woman seated on the ground, dressed in torn, unwashed clothes. She was pale and drawn, and her face was bathed in tears, but her beauty shone like a moon through a veil of clouds. Hanuman knew her to be the same woman he'd seen carried over Rishumaka hill by Ravana, matching the ones cast down from the sky to the monkeys that day, and her yellow robe as matching the silk cloth in which they had wrapped. She must be Sita. Around her, demonesses circled her restlessly, hideous in appearance, carrying clubs or spikes. Some had only one eye and misshapen features. Some were covered in hair. Some were humpbacked or monstrous in size, with heads of goats, camel's feet, or donkey's ears. In the midst of these monsters, Sita was weighed down by grief like a boat sinking beneath its load. How can such a blameless and exalted soul as Sita be afflicted with so much sorrow? Lamented Hanuman. Indeed, it is hard to understand destiny. Yet I see she is forbearing born. She does not see the monsters surrounding her or this heavenly garden. She only sees Rama, the ring. As dawn approached, Hanuman heard the distant sound of the sacred hymns of the village in the city. A musicians serenaded him, and slowly the great demon stirred. His head his first thought of Sita. Although powerful beyond measure. Ravana was a slave of passion, and at that moment, all his passion was focused on Sita. Dressing and perfuming himself, he set off to Ashok Grove, followed by a procession of female attendants bearing torches in the early dawn light. As it passed through the glades of echoing the with birdsong, procession progress of the god of love. Hidden among the branches, Hanuman watched as Ravana approached. As soon as she saw him, Sita huddled up in modesty and shook with fear. Although she was distressed and lorn, she could not hide her flawless beauty, which shone like the moon through the clouds. Hanuman was amazed to see prostrate himself full length on the ground before her. Have no fear. No other demons lurk here. It is only I, begging for your love, came Ravana's love stricken words. My soul is ravished by you. Please return my love. It is a habit of us demons to seduce each other's wives by force, but I have restrained from this for 10 months, waiting for you to willingly give yourself to me. Your beauty holds me entraced. The Creator, after fashioning you, must have retired, having surpassed all else. Though you are covered in torn cloth with your hair in a single plait. You make me forget my consort Mandodari. My thousands of other wives will wait upon you. Only of Rama, a mere man. He is nothing compared to me. Untold wealth can be yours, just to be mine. Take your mind off me and be satisfied with your many wives, Sita responded fiercely. You should protect me, not seek to molest me. Your infatuation will destroy your kingdom and all who live in it. I belong to Rama, as the sunshine belongs to the sun. You will never have Rama will be here with arrows of fire to destroy you. You cannot flee. He will find you wherever you are. It seems, good lady, that the more I speak sweet words to you, the more unkind you become. Very well. Be warned. You have 2 months to surrender to me. If you refuse to share my bed, after that time, you'll be minced up for Though these foul words upset many of Ravana's women, whom had won from among of gods or pious families. They tried to reassure Sita with secret glances, but she continued fearlessly. You have no friends here. Otherwise, they would advise you to that you bring upon yourself your own destruction by stealing another's wife of the wife of Rama. I wonder that your tongue has not fallen out, on your eyes been blinded. I am here for your destruction. Touch me at your peril. Ravana's face twisted, and he raised his hand to strike Sita, but was restrained by his woman, who dragged him away. Sport with us, Lord, and have nothing to do with this. They implored. Do not do with her as you will to force her to her senses. Ravana shouted at those around Sita. Angry and humiliated, he left. Now the demonesses came forward with first cajoling, with then taunting, threatening Sita with their weapons. Don't you know what you are turning down? You have been loyal to your husband. Now do the sensible thing. The entire universe, the 33 high gods, and even Indra himself are under his sway. Now he wishes to give up his wife, Mandodari, in favor of you. You are mad to refuse. I would like to taste her liver, snarled one, and her heart too. Why should we wait? Cried another. Divide her up now and cook her. I will never be his wife, Sita reported. I am a human, and he is a Rakshasa, and I will never have anything to do with this monster. You can eat me if you like. I don't care. Shuddering with emotion, she withdrew towards the tree in which Hanuman was concealed. I would not touch the despicable Ravana, even with my left foot. Why can I not die now? Then I would be shamed no more. He would kill Ravana and destroy this entire city. Shirishi will continue the rest of the story.
Come now, and destroy his entire city.
He will destroy. An old Rakshasa woman named Trijata awoke just then. Seeing that the other Rakshasas were tormenting Sita, she stopped them. Hanuman arrived just then, trying to spot an area to hide in. Hanuman desperately wanted to reassure Sita, but how could he do so without frightening her? She would think that he was just another one of Ram. He Sanskrit, the human language of Ayodhya. Softly, he spoke of Ram. There was once a mighty emperor in the line of Ikshvasu called Dasharath, who had a son named Ram. He began, and went on to recite the tale of Ram's exploits, up to the time when Sita was carried away. In search of Sita, Ram and Lakshman went to the south, where they met Sugriva. A great search for Sita was begun, starting with me to Lanka, where I have last found her. Even now, Ram is waiting for me to bring back news so that he can rescue her. In rapture, Sita listened to this mysterious voice, thinking of it first as a dream, until she caught sight of Hanuman in the tree just above her. How could a monkey talk and know all these details of her story? I hope these monkeys' words are true, she whispered to herself. Encouraged, Hanuman slipped from the tree, staying hidden from the Rakshasas. Gentle lady with lotus eyes, who are you and why do you cry? Are you truly Sita, the wife of Ram, or a goddess fallen from heaven? I am Sita, daughter of Janak. I lived in Ayodhya for 12 years before following him to the forest in exile. There he lived in peace, served by his brother Lakshman, until the evil Ravan came, who will now torment me, carried me away as well. If my husband does not come to rescue me, I have 2 months to live. Dear lady, Ram wishes you to know that he and Lakshman are both well. He also wants to know of your welfare. Hanuman came near sympathy and the decision to leap over the sea to Lanka. I am Hanuman, the son of wind, and minister of Sugriv. Doubt me no more. All she heard, Sita trembled with relief. Tears of happiness her long eyelashes and down to her face, which shone like the moon. Hanuman then produced Ram's ring and handed it to Sita, who recognized it as the one worn by her husband. Gazing on it as if it were Ram herself, she thanked Hanuman. You are a brave and powerful monkey to come all this way for me, crossing the ocean so wide. I owe you a lot of gratitude. But tell me, why has Ram not come yet to rescue me? Has he given up on hope, or has he stopped loving me? He is now you know where you are. As soon as I get back, he will lead a powerful force to rescue you. Ram thinks only of you. He lies awake at night with tears in his eyes and calls only your name. Sita was both glad and pained to hear of Ram's grief. Hanuman to act fast, for she could survive not much longer. Let me rescue you this moment, exclaimed Hanuman. Climb on my back, and I will take you back to the presence of Ram this very day. Now you are talking like just a monkey, laughed Sita. How could I go anywhere on your back? Hanuman had forgotten he was only the size of a cat. He began to grow until he towered above her. With blazing eyes and a swishing tail, he proudly declared that if he wished all the way to Lanka, all the way from Lanka. Now I see your full power, agreed Sita. I do not doubt that you could carry me through the air, but I might fall or lose my life traveling so fast and so high in the sky. It is not right for me to willingly touch another male other than my husband. Let Ram come here and defeat Ravan, and take me back to Ayodhya himself. That'll be most fitting. If you cannot come with me, at least please give me some token to take to requested Hanuman. Sita unwrapped a large jewel from her cloth. Give this to him, she said. He will recognize it, and ask him if he remembers the time when he decorated my cheek with mineral dye after the rains. Holding the precious jewel tightly, Hanuman prepared to leave. Tell him to come soon. I'll not be able to survive here much longer. No more than a month, she said. Have no fear, lady. Ram will come soon, he said, and was gone. Hanuman began, except he didn't go much far. Reaching the edge of the grove, he paused to consider this position. He had found Sita. He decided to try the strength of the Rakshasa forces and deal out some punishment. He also wanted to get a closer look at Ravan, so he decided to provoke some attention. Returning to the grove, he started uprooting trees. Soon the whole grove lay the great tree which Sita sheltered. Satisfied, Hanuman sat on the arch over the gateway and waited. Before long, 80,000 troops arrived, armed with mallets and clubs. They surrounded Hanuman and attacked him. Armed with only an iron bar and roaring loudly, he leaped upon them, killing large numbers. Only a few managed to escape. Hearing of this defeat, Ravan sent upon Jambumali, who arrived in a chariot. But he was no match for Hanuman and soon lay dead. Hanuman sat upon the gateway. Again, the sons of his chief minister, Ravan now became exceedingly angry and sent the sons of his chief ministers to deal with this impetuous monkey, bringing with them a large army of these mighty warriors who were ambitious to show off their strength. They, they showered Hanuman with arrows. He flew up in the sky, dodging the arrows, then and died upon them. Um, Soon they lay dead in the battlefield as well as the others. While Ravan heard this news, he tried to conceal his dismay and sent forth 5 of his most powerful generals, warning them to remain alert at all times. The future may be produced by Indra, for I have heard of strong monkeys like Val, but none like this. Capture him for interrogation. The generals went forth, and they fared no better, although in order to defeat them, Hanuman had to grow a great deal in size. Now he sat at the gateway, an angel of death. Ravan next. Continue the rest of the reading.
Ravan next turned to his son Aksha, who though young was truly a great fighter. When Hanuman saw him armored in gold and mounted on a chariot that shone like the sun, he was surprised at his youth, and felt honored to recognize him as the son of Ravan. The boy rushed at him with fury, pleasing Hanuman with his courage. Hanuman took to the air, but the boy followed, flying in the sky in his chariot. Hanuman was sorry to have to kill this youth, but feared that if he did not, he would prove a serious danger in the future. He smashed his chariot, but the boy flew in the sky by his own power, attacking Hanuman with his sword. At this, Hanuman caught hold of his legs and wheeled him around in the air so fast that the boy passed out, and hurled him to the ground with tremendous force, breaking his limbs and killing him. Ravan was afraid and grieved at the death of his son. He called his eldest son Indrajit, his greatest fighter. Indrajit was so named because he had conquered Indra, the king of heaven, in single combat. He had been given special weapons and powers by Brahma and was the most feared demon warrior in the universe. Do not try to kill him, advised Ravan. He seems invincible. Use the weapon given to you by Brahma to capture him and bring him to me. Indrajit went forth on a chariot drawn by 4 tigers. Hanuman recognized his assailant and thrilled at the prospect of fighting him. The two met head to head, and an immense duel ensued. Wherever Hanuman flew, Indrajit followed, but could not reach him with his arrows. Finally, he saw his moment and released his Brahma weapon, which bound its victim with unbreakable bonds. Hanuman suddenly found himself unable to move, caught in Indrajit's snare. He plummeted to the ground and lost consciousness. Coming to, he realized that he had been overcome by a weapon belonging to Brahma, from whom he had special protection. He knew that he had nothing to fear from such a weapon, and that he could get free from it if he wanted to. But he decided to let it bind him. He wanted to be brought before Ravan. Who is this creature? Demanded Ravan. And who has sent him? Roast him alive and we'll eat him. Hanuman, bound with ropes, stood before Ravan, who was seated on a throne of crystal inlaid with jewels. His many eyes glowed copper-colored, his sharp teeth gleamed. A mass of jewels covered his chest, and his 20 arms were encircled by heavy gold bangles. Dazzled by his magnificence, Hanuman thought that if it were not for his antagonism to Ram, he might have protected the universe and been loved by all. Instead, because of his cruelty, he was universally feared and hated. Do not be afraid, monkey, said Ravan's chief minister. Just tell us who sent you and you will come to no harm. I am Hanuman, messenger of Ram, answered Hanuman, who lost his wife Sita in the Dandaka forest. My master Sugriv made an alliance with Ram and offered to help him find her. I was deputed to look for her, and my search brought me here to Lanka, where I have now found her. Turning to Ravan, he spoke boldly. If you know what is good for you, you will release this woman. It is most sinful to steal another's wife. If you insist on holding her, you will bring destruction upon yourself and your kingdom. No one in this universe can withstand the anger of Ram. You think you are protected by the benediction you received from Brahma, but Ram is a human and Sugriv a monkey. From them you have no protection. I can destroy Lanka on my own, but it is Ram's wish to perform this task himself. Ram can create and destroy unlimited worlds and all the beings in them. He personally wishes to punish the demon who dares lay hands on his wife Sita. No one in this universe can withstand him, for he is the equal of Vishnu himself. Ravan, beside himself with rage at Hanuman's speech, ordered his death. But his brother Vibhishan intervened. My lord, do not give way to anger. This monkey is a messenger, and messengers may be punished but not killed. Furthermore, you need him to carry back your challenge to his masters. To assert your supremacy, you must gather your army and punish Ram for daring to oppose you. This was acceptable to Ravan, who relented in favor of a better idea. Set light to his tail. That will be a suitable punishment for this spy, taunted Ravan. Take him through the marketplaces and humiliate him, then release him to return wretched and mutilated to his kinsmen. Hanuman's tail was wrapped in cotton and soaked in oil, then set alight. Although it was painful, Hanuman did not wince. He welcomed the opportunity to be taken a second time around Lanka, this time during daylight, when he could see more clearly. Allowing himself to be dragged around, he became a spectacle to women and children. Meanwhile, he carefully memorized the layout of the city and the strength of its fortifications. News was brought to Sita of his humiliation, and she prayed to the fire god for his protection. If ever I have earned any credit by my penances, let Hanuman feel you as cool. From the moment of Sita's prayer, Hanuman felt no discomfort from the flames. How is it that these flames feel cool like ice? He thought. It must be the blessing of Sita. Feeling encouraged, Hanuman freed himself from his bonds and seized hold of an iron club. In no time, his guards, swishing his tail in a circle of fire. I have laid waste to the grove and killed a good many Rakshasas, he thought. Now I will set alight this whole city with the fire burning on my tail. He leapt across the roofs of the houses, setting light to one after another. He worked his way towards the mansions of Ravan's generals and ministers, setting them all alight until even Ravan's palace was ablaze. Yet he was careful to avoid the house of Vibhishan, who had saved his life. As he went, he shouted victory to Ram. The wind blew and spread the blaze, transforming it into a firestorm so intense that molten gold mixed with gems and pearls poured out of the collapsing buildings. The people of Lanka ran screaming through the streets as the whole city went up in flames. A great sheet of flame enveloped the hilltop, and dense columns of black smoke ascended into the sky. The fire consumed Rakshasas, horses, chariots, and elephants, all that lived in the city, though the flames would not burn Hanuman. Satisfied with his work, he left the city and quenched his tail in the sea. It was only then that the terrible thought occurred to him. What about Sita? He rushed back and found her safe, for she too had been protected by the fire god. Dear son, you have done well, she said. I wish you would stay and rest here for the night, for so long as you are here you bring me comfort. But it is better that you go at once and bring Ram, so that he can himself defeat Ravan and rescue me. Only my fear is that he will not be able to cross the ocean with all the monkeys. Hanuman replied, Sugriv with his monkey warriors and Ram and Lakshman will soon be here. Do not doubt it. You'll see him very soon. Jai Sitaram.